Last week I did a should they stay or should they go. This is my second annual should they stay or should they go. And this is where I go through the list of this time it was pitchers. Next week it'll be position players, where I sort of say, should they stay? Should they be on the Mets in 2010, or should they go and either be traded, not be offered a salary arbitration, be non-tendered, whatever it is. So obviously you have the stays, Johan Santana, surgery or no surgery, that guy's got to come back. They're not going to trade him away. Pelfrey has to come back. I do think it's going to be an issue if Dan Worthen is still the pitching coach. Obviously, he's still there now, but that doesn't mean he'll still be there in the future. And so, those two guys are obviously stays. The rotation was a big problem this year for the Mets. But Oliver Perez, unfortunately, he is a stay simply because there will be no one that will take that contract from Perez after, it's a huge contract and he gets injured. So coming off of a terrible year, he's got a ton of money owed to him. No way will anyone take that contract. John Maine, I'm going to say stay, but I'm not going to I'm still on the fence about this because Maine is always hurt. He just can't stay healthy. And when he's healthy, he just hasn't been as effective as we used to be. Jeremy Schilling is here.
Hi. I would like to say something about the Mets pitching.
Please, go ahead.
No matter who stays, goes, does 5 backflips, to get pay raises, you need a second starter. You need a Doc Halladay-like figure. Because
what? Doc Halladay is not a second starter.
He's the best starter in baseball.
This is Andrew Fletcher.
Here we go. All right, we got Andrew Fletcher here.
Hold
on. We have Andrew Fletcher here, ScottProctorsArm.com. We have Jeremy Schilling here from jschill.wordpress.com 1L. We have Corey Hirsch here. What's your blog?
I don't
know. No blog. Boston Red Sox fan.
I almost kept it.
So we have 2 Yankee fans, we have a Red Sox fan, and obviously
that was a good blog,
me, the New York Mets fan.
I enjoyed it, but then I just got lazy. I don't have the time for that nonsense.
But back to what Jeremy was saying. What? Halladay a second starter? Are you out of your mind?
I've heard this rumor before with Halladay to the Mets. One of the people that they would have to give up, they are the building. You can unplug me, Jeremy. I'm not listening to anyone.
Okay.
They are the players that they would have to give up are supposed to be the building blocks for the future. Now, obviously, when we traded for Johan Santana, when the Mets traded those 4 players for Santana, it was a steal. I don't think anyone's going to be stupid enough.
But is there anyone left in the minor league system? It was like ransacked.
When the minor, if you look at the Mets minor league system, you have a lot. There's no one at the AAA level. No one. Everyone is
Foley, right? Is he the best prospect?
He's probably the most major league ready prospect. But then there's guys like Ike Davis, who we'll talk about later, Jenry Mejia, who we'll talk about later, and guys like Brad Holt, Ruben Tejada. There are guys in the system that have been praised, have made the BA top 20, top 50, I believe. I believe 2 of those names were listed just yesterday on the top 50 for Baseball America. So there is talent in the system. I hate when people say that the minor league system is barren. They're just not major league ready. There is talent there. It's just not. It's not going to be on the team next year. Yes, Jeremy.
You made a pledge to your fans.
Yes, I did.
2 weeks ago. No, not you. Your team did.
Then it's not me. I'm not we. I'm not the Mets.
The Mets.
Okay, that they would go all out and spend money because you will not fill those seats and not pay back what you got to pay back if you don't go out and spend money in the off season. The Mets have a couple gaping holes, as you probably talked about.
We didn't talk about it yet today.
Okay, but this is what I want to equate it to.
Okay.
My golf game right now has a glaring problem. It's my inconsistent driver, okay?
Okay.
I'm not going to work in the off season on my problems with cut flop shots. I'm going to address the problem and go at it hard. You need to address your glaring problem, which is the pitching, first base, and a good left fielder.
And right fielder, and catcher, and bullpen. you don't understand. I understand what you're saying, Germany. I understand the analogy. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
They have too
turn
many
down my
holes.
headset.
There are too many holes.
Yes, but my point is this. My point is that you need to start with the pitching. You need to make the Mets sexy. The Mets right now have no sex appeal.
In what way do you mean they need to make the Mets, quote, sexy?
They need to bring in big names. You do not need to take these gaping holes and split it
No,
amongst
no,
five
no,
people
no.
and split your money. You need to go out and get gusto. You need to get men, not little boys. You need to go out and spend money. And that's why Doc Halladay has come up in these discussions.
Now,
You know?
they do not have the money for that. They just don't. I don't care what they tell you. There's $30 million coming off the payroll, but they do not have money to go out and spend big names on all these positions. They need to realize that spending and putting a big payroll on the field doesn't equate wins. You need to put together teams that don't have big names, that have people that can contribute and not be in the spotlight.
Chiming Wong is probably going to be non-tendered.
Really?
If you're interested.
So I think Frank.
That wouldn't be a bad fit for the Mets.
No, it wouldn't.
Actually, the Yankees could probably use them because aside from AJ and CeCe, Pettit may not be back. Jaba's a question mark. Hughes has been good in the bullpen, so I don't know. Wong's probably going to be non-tendered, but the Mets could probably look at him.
Yeah, Wong wouldn't be terrible. I don't think he would be very expensive. Obviously, coming off of very poor years.
He'd be good in that ballpark, too.
And he would be one of those guys that would be a high risk, high reward. Jeremy Schilling is shaking his head no.
It's actually kind of a low risk if you have other rotation spots.
But they don't.
Well,
That's the thing.
That's
they
the
don't.
problem.
They're probably going into the season with Santana, Pelfrey, Perez, and two really big question marks. Do they keep Maine? Do they pay him and hope he can stay healthy, hope he can come back? Do they go out and sign Lackey for a 5-year deal is what he's asking, which is absurd.
Wait, Lackey's asking for 5 years?
Lackey is asking for 5 years.
He's old, isn't he? Older?
He's on the wrong side of 30.
Yeah.
Yes, he's consistent. Yes, he can eat innings.
I don't think he's
but
that
he is
good,
not
to be
good
honest.
enough for a 5-year contract. He turned down a...
Well, you have to remember that Manny Ramirez went into the offseason wanting 5
That's
years.
true. And it all depends on the market and who's out there. But the thing is, it's a very, very thin market for starting
It is.
pitchers this year,
Yeah.
which is
Good? Okay.
which is a very big problem.
The stream wasn't working.
Okay.
before. So now it's working.
It is a very thin market for starting pitchers. It's a thin market all across baseball
Yeah.
for all position players.
Are we good? Okay.
Yes, Joe.
Hi, Da.
So, I think Lackey's going to get his money. I don't know if he's going to get 5 years, but he's going to get paid handsomely. And I do not think the Mets have that money to pay him. Yes.
I just feel like, I think Lackey would be a good choice for you guys, but I don't know. I think you Met fans need to accept the fact that you're not going to get a flash catcher. Francoeur can be your right fielder.
Francoeur, they're going to have to pay him so much money, and he is not worth it.
Pay him.
Why? Why pay him if he's not
Francoeur?
worth it?
Yes.
What, so he can have a 298 on base percentage?
You don't understand what
He stinks.
the jokes that were going around between Santos and Francoeur battling to get to a 300 OBP because neither of them had it.
And you'd think that's like you can get that in your sleep.
Scouts called
But
him. Scouts called Francoeur the most clueless hitter in baseball. That's really all you need.
Would you rather have Adrian Gonzalez at first, a big name John Lackey, Doc Halladay pitcher?
Adrian Gonzalez, where'd that come from?
They've entertained. They may be entertaining offers on
Okay.
Aegon.
At first.
5 home runs in City Field?
Lackey in
He
the
never.
Lackey
He
in
would
the
be like
starting
Halladay.
rotation and some flash left fielder. How would you like that? And you don't address the and then you address the bullpen with little guys, and you find somebody to be with Santos.
It's not going to happen. I don't think you understand how many things would have to fall into place magically for that to happen for the Mets. There are so many other teams that need this help as well. It's not like they're the only one. It's not like it's going to be shooting fish in a barrel. They're going to have to compete with other teams. They're going to have to overpay. They're going to have to overtrade. It's not going to happen.
You operate under the assumption that every team is like the Yankees and just end up signing every free agent they want.